That's CEOs, founders, leaders. Did you know that 60% of women in businesses admit to experiencing imposter syndrome? That means more than half of us feel like we don't deserve our achievements, despite all the hard work we put in. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to overcome imposter syndrome and take your place confidently as the boss you are. Let's get real and let's get practical because it's time to own your success. So first off, let's get something straight. Imposter syndrome is way more common than you think. A study by KPMG found that 75% of executive women across different industries have felt like an imposter at some point in their career. That's CEOs, founders, leaders, women who have climbed to the top still battle with the idea that they aren't good enough. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, it's even more intense. According to a study published in the Journal of Behavioral Science, an estimated 70% of people will experience imposter syndrome at least once in their lives. But for women, especially in male-dominated fields, those numbers tend to skew even higher. So if you've ever felt like you don't belong at the table, you're not alone. And more importantly, it's not a sign that you're not qualified, it's a sign that you're human. Now, let's talk about what we can do with that feeling. One of the biggest shifts you can make is to reframe imposter syndrome as a sign of growth. If you're feeling like an imposter, it's probably because you're doing something new, something challenging. Studies show that stepping outside of your comfort zone triggers feelings of self-doubt and the imposter syndrome. That's because your brain is wired to avoid risk. But as entrepreneurs, risk is a part of the game. Here's the science. When we're faced with uncertainty, our brain tries to protect us by triggering fear responses. This includes self-doubt. But instead of seeing that doubt as a negative, you need to see it as a sign that you're pushing your limits and growing. It's literally a signal that you're leveling up and you're doing great. So the next time you feel like you don't know what you're doing, remember, it's not because you don't belong, it's because you're stretching, learning, and moving forward. Another way to combat imposter syndrome is to use data to back yourself up. Numbers don't lie. Studies have shown that when people document their accomplishments, it can help counteract feelings of inadequacy. In fact, a survey by CIO magazine found that professionals who regularly track their achievements report greater self-confidence and are more likely to advance in their careers. For entrepreneurs, this can be as simple as keeping a running list of your successes. Whether it's hitting a revenue goal, closing a big deal, or even the smaller wins like getting great feedback from a client, document it. Create a system where you can see the progress you're making in real time. It's much harder to argue with hard data than with feelings of self-doubt. Comparison is another huge contributor to imposter syndrome. A report by Psychology Today showed that over 70% of people compare themselves to others on social media. And we know that. And it's one of the biggest sources of insecurity. But here's the thing, most of what you see online is a highlight. You don't see the struggles, the failures, or the doubts behind the scenes. I always think that the people on social media, they're good players. In fact, social media has been proven to increase feelings of inadequacy in entrepreneurs, especially women. But when you compare yourself to someone else's carefully curated image, you're setting yourself up for failure. The truth is, your journey is unique, and comparing yourself to others is like comparing apples to oranges. The only person you should be measuring yourself against is who you were yesterday. Finally, let's talk about the importance of having the right support system. I've been reading a research by the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor that says entrepreneurs who have a strong network of support are 20 20% more likely to succeed in their businesses, and yet many female entrepreneurs feel isolated. And that's sad. Imposter syndrome thrives in that isolation. You need people around you who remind you of your worth, who challenge you in a positive way, and who can share their own experiences of overcoming doubt. And you need them. Whether it's a mentor, a mastermind group, or just a few fellow entrepreneurs, surrounding yourself with the right people can make a huge difference. Having a community means you're not fighting those battles alone, and research shows it improves your chances of long-term success. Don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, so let's recap. Imposter syndrome is common, really common, especially for female entrepreneurs, but it doesn't have to hold you back. You can reframe it as a sign of growth. Track your achievements to remind yourself of your worth. Stop comparing yourself to others and build a strong support network. The numbers are on your side, and so am I. You've earned it, you belong here, and the next time that self-doubt creeps you, you'll have the tools to push through it. Thanks for watching. And I'm sorry that I was so harsh on this video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, if you felt it, you resonated with it. And please share, subscribe to my channel for the next videos. Thank you.